Hello and welcome to episode 8 of this TEW 2016 WWF series. We are at the big event, the biggest one yet by the WWF apparently. Not so sure that's how it will work or actually was at the time, seeing we have two WrestleManias in the bag, both in the series and in real life at this point. Not much news to cover before we go into this. The first bit of news is not actually featuring us, it's about Mid-South Wrestling, or MSW. And the fact that they've actually went on a bit of a hiring spree recently. So I did sign up one talent that I'm going to need in the next sort of year or so, but I missed out on Honky Tonk Man, who, for those of you know, goes on to, after WrestleMania, end Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's Intercontinental title reign and goes on to have one of the longest of all time. So we probably won't have him. I think he signed at Mid-South for 4 years. So unless they, fumble and I buy them out, we're not actually going to have Honky, so we're going to have to create some new stars to be able to fill that void of talent that maybe aren't going to be around because of the fact that they were bought out before I sort of got around to it. The only other bit of news is that Wendy Richter is, was called out in the news bit for trying to do power plays and politicking backstage, and as you can see here, she's also a negative influence in our locker room, along with Moolah and British Beefcake. This is our title holders. We put the WBA World Heavyweight title on Zbysko that we had purchased from that company. So we took it off Hennig and put it on Zbysko so that we could have that unification match on pay-per-view. Hogan is still the WWE champ. Look how red he is. It's so strange. He's 85. The same prestige as the Intercontinental Championship with Orndorff, who has had 3 defenses. I think they've all been since TV. Yeah, he beat Savage for the belt because Savage was having a few issues. And then we had him face Davey Boy Smith and Cowboy Bob Orton in a triple threat. George Steele, and then Harry Race. Peaking with actually the George Steele match, which I didn't realize. The women's title is now up to a 61, the highest it has been so far if you look at the prestige. So it's actually been quite a good line of growth for it. Dump has only defended once since then, which he defended in 64 on our B show against Velvet McIntyre. And then the tag belts are 78, 2 defenses in, where we had, last you would have seen, Hayes and Gordy defeating US Express. They beat US Express on TV in a better match than the one on pay-per-view, and then lost by count out to the Hart Foundation. So they've been sort of cheating, and tonight our tag team match is actually the Hart Foundation versus the US Express in a winner faces the Freebirds match, essentially. Our storylines look like this. Hogan and Zbysko is in 81. Andre versus King Kong Bundy is in 82. Dump Matsumoto versus Wendy Richter is actually Dump Matsumoto versus Lanny Kai. I just didn't change the name. Express versus Freebirds is the previously mentioned Express versus Foundation. Bulldog versus Ace started after the triple threat match, and George Steele versus Kabuki happened as Fuji's changing up his clientele. Here he has Don Matsumoto, he had Don Morocco, he had George Steele. I don't know, that's got George Scott in it actually, so I'll have to change that story out a bit. And I felt like we were maybe sort of changing what we were looking for in clientele for Fuji. So hopefully we're going down the right path now. And then we have another storyline that's starting tonight. This is our card. It is 22 segments long, 163 minutes, 22 segments as I previously said. And let's get into it. So in front of 24,276 people at the Palace of Auburn Hills, a 73 as Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura hype up the card as Hulk Hogan, Larry Zbysko, Andre the Giant and King Kong Bundy, Dump Matsumoto and Lanny Kai are hyped up with some of our bigger matches for this evening. Then in a 78 we open the show with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jake the Snake Roberts as Steamboat gets his win in 10 minutes with a flying karate chop. This was meant to actually be a storyline going into tonight, but we've had a few issues with Roberts having to send him home a couple times. Again, we're going to have to look to maybe getting rid of our dirty doctors and stuff so that we can sort of clean up the talent that we have at the minute. Roberts got a 53, Steamboat got an 80. A 65 for the post-match angle as Roberts beats down Steamboat. Then in a 63, hypes up Davey Boy Smith and Cowboy Bob Orton. And then a 75, a very good match for these two anyway, as in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Davey Boy defeated Cowboy Bob Orton by pinfall with a running power slam. As, you know, a nice underdog win for Davey Boy in his 67, and Orton gets an 80. So a big win for Davey Boy, as we sort of, I guess, are sliding Orton down the card. 76 for the post-match angle, which is supposed to be like a Davey Boy sort of shocked celebration, as Cowboy can't believe he's just been pinned by the youngster. Then pre-match, there's a mistake in there, but the US Express have a promo on the Hart Foundation with Gene Okerlund. That gets a 70. No turn. That's maybe a slight spoiler for what's coming forth. 84, probably one of our better tag team matches so far, and a superb bout that had good heat. The Hart Foundation defeats the US Express in 16-18 when Bret Hart defeats Mike Rotundo by submission with a sharpshooter. Jim Neidhart was a big link. Great match. Jim gets a 63, Bret a 77, Mike got an 86, and Barry an 84. Great match. US Express obviously hinted at their heel turn. That is going to come up now, as you know, the US Express lay in to the Hart Foundation after the match, and we are going to turn them now, and we'll have to give them gimmicks as well after this. 2 complete successes. 76 into our 69 as Mr. Fuji hypes up his client Dum Matsumoto. Okerlund looks like a real star, just what we were hoping for, I guess. 73, great women's title match, as in a match with good wrestling and decent crowd reaction, Dum Matsumoto defeats Lani Kai in 8 minutes and 22 seconds by pinfall with a superplex. Dum makes defense number 2. She got a 68, Lani Kai got 64, which is a lot better than I expected. And then after the match, we have a hype up for our Intercontinental title match, as Randy Savage gets his rematch against Paul Orndorff, our Intercontinental Champion, his 84 rated segment. One of the first times he's been back on TV in a while. He has been suspended. But in an 80 match, disappointingly though, Savage defeats Orndorff in 18 minutes and wins back the Intercontinental Champion, making him a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. As unfortunately we did have to cut his reign sort of into 2 parts. Orndorff got the run that we wanted to give him. Because if you think about it in real life, Orndorff actually doesn't win any belts, I believe. So here he's already been a tag team champion and an Intercontinental Champion. Savage got 88, Orndorff a 90. Savage and Elizabeth get a 65. The pre-match interview for the Bundy Andre match, as Heenan hypes up the match with his 2 sort of menacing enforcers standing behind him. Bundy looks like a star. Stud looks excellent. The match, the entrance of Andre gets a 91. Great. Looking like this could be a good match. 76, hoping for better. But what can you do? 13 minutes. Andre and Bundy. Exceptional match. 87 from Andre. 85 from Bundy. Lack of selling. Is that what cut us down here? Inconsistency. Stamina. Chemistry. Andre's declining physical ability. Yeah, lack of selling. Oh, for a short match length. I didn't know if Andre and Bundy could go for longer than sort of 14 minutes. Maybe we'll have a rematch at some point and see if they can get better. I'm not sure. Andre celebrates his match. 76. Larry Zbysko makes a spectacular over-the-top entrance. The WWA champion makes his way down to the ring. No enforcers with him, none of the All-Stars. Malenko's injured, so that took him sort of out of the angle as much. And the other 2 are jobbers, so I didn't really want to involve them as much. At least Malenko's got a bit of potential. Then in a 90, Hogan, the WWF champion, looks like a real star, making his way down to the ring. Incredibly red, still not sure why, but you know, that's how he looked. And in 81, again, not great. An exceptional match, Hogan defeated Larry Zbysko in a 17:58 by pinfall with a big leg drop. Hulk Hogan wins the WBA World Heavyweight Championship and makes defense number 5 of his title. Hogan got a 90, Zbysko a 91. What went wrong? Was it too long in this case? Penalized due to lack of a hot storyline. Was our story short match length? Okay, so we probably needed to push it above 20 minutes maybe. Zbysko was holding back, so was Hogan. Penalized for chemistry motivation. Okay. Well, maybe we're not going to get as good a rating as we wanted here. 76 for the celebration. 84. I'll take an 84 actually, to be fair. And hopefully we can build on this. It seems like recently some of our main events haven't been pushing through that boundary. And we've been getting better ratings lower down the card. So maybe we'll have to shift a few things up and see if we can improve on that in the future. We will make our speech here. Hogan, Zbysko, and I believe Orndorff got in the 90s as well. And we will comment them on a good performance. Or maybe we should say that Hogan and Zbysko could have done better tonight. And we'll see what they say. Didn't seem too concerned. Pleased. Oh, Hogan just didn't reply. Okay. So that was episode 8. I believe the next show, we will have a show in between Mania and now. Probably being the War to Settle the Score again, I think. No Wrestling Classic tournament this year. We've obviously ended our run with closed Circuit Canada, as we have better TV options now in Canada. And we moved on our man Rougeau because he was just jobbing. We weren't really... We have a lot of talent on the roster at the minute. Didn't need him. So, thank you guys for checking out this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one.